everybody. Welcome to La Riviera on MNN. I'm here with my exclusive on actor, recording artist, Khalid Rivera.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you, darling. You're visiting us here in New York City.
Yes, honey.
Right?
I was native New Yorker, but I've branched out to other places, so I just make an appearance every now and then.
A cameo appearance.
That's right.
So Khalid, let's talk about your acting career. Your latest project, I know it has to do with Xena, Warrior Princess, the musical.
Yeah. So, it was off Broadway last year, and then earlier this year we did the cast recording, the album, because it was just so popular and people were demanding it. So we recorded the album, and it's going to be released at some point this fall with a couple of extra bonus tracks with some Broadway stars. And the video, we had a live video performance that was recorded, and that's going to be released simultaneously with the cast recording album. That's going to happen at some point this fall. And I played the role of Lacus, the comedic sidekick to the evil, the bad guy. So I had a supporting role in it. And yeah, it was just the music was incredible. Yeah, I play a villain, a funny villain to say,
The little sidekick, that with the little kick.
That's right, little kick, little punch, little stab,
So, what kind of music is in Xena? I mean, because the original was not a musical, right? The TV
the
show.
original was
I don't
not
know
a
if they had a musical episode.
They had a musical
okay.
episode.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. And the music is disco, pop, rock, a little bit of hip hop, but yeah, all of that. So it was incredible to do the show. And the album, from what I've heard so far, incredible. I think people are gonna really like it. And last year, the show was done at $3 Brooklyn, which is a great venue, very immersive, excellent place if you want to do like immersive theatrical productions. And that was done in Brooklyn. And now the album and the video will be coming out soon. And yeah,
so is it
the Z Nights, they call them, the fans. They were hardcore.
What are they called?
Z Nights.
Z Nights. Oh wow,
yeah.
The fanatics.
Yeah.
So is this gonna be like on Spotify and on like Hulu, or what platforms are these
so the
gonna go
album,
on?
it'll be on all the online retailers and streamings. And then the video, I know it's going to be on the website. I think it's going to be exclusively on the website where you can pre-order or order. I'm not sure where else it'll be at the moment because, things change prior to the release. So I'm sure I'll find out more details, and I'm just looking forward to just hearing the entire album.
Awesome. That is exciting, Khalid. I know you do a lot of acting. I have to tell you, one time I worked on Kimmy Schmidt's, and one time I was just watching because I love the show, Kimmy Schmidt's. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, that's Khalid right there. You had a small part in Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah. It was, I believe, the second season. I was playing the college aide when Kimmy wants to go to college, and I had a couple of funny lines. And I was so grateful for that opportunity because it was one of the shows that I really wanted to be in. I was like, as long as I have a part, a couple of lines, and I'm in the show and I get kept in, I could use that, for my reels and add it on my resume. And just to be in a scene opposite the main characters was a blessing.
Oh my God.
Because it's such a funny show. It's comedy, which is my forte in acting. And it's filmed in New York, very New York. So I'm like, it was like on my bucket list.
Wow.
So I was really happy for that.
Yeah, I was so excited and so happy to see you on that. I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud. That's my friend Khalid on Kimmy Schmidt, because I love that show. I miss that show too.
Yeah, and
but
I mean, it's still on Netflix, right?
Yeah, you can watch the reruns. What other major things you've done? I know you've done a lot, but what have been like some of the highlights of your acting career?
Highlights, I'll go by category. On the TV side, definitely Kimmy Schmidt. I was in Russian Doll. I was in Broad City.
I love that.
Yeah, and then this other show, which I don't think it's running anymore, called Red Rum. That was very evil and crazy. I played this drug dealer to the drug dealer of the boyfriend.
I think I
killed
just saw your
somebody.
reel. I think I just saw your reel.
that was shooting. That was a lot of fun. That was done an overnight shoot in New Jersey, And then on the film side, my two favorite film roles that I've done, I'm in this film called Milkwater, opposite Robin De Jesus and Molly Bernard. That was shot in Brooklyn, and I have a supporting role. I play Jesus, the gay, sassy Puerto Rican bartender. Not much of a stretch at all. Talk about typecasting. That was a lot of fun, because it's such an LGBTQ New York story. And I was happy to be a part of that with amazing stars. And then I did this other film. It's a horror comedy, but it has a very big cult following. It's one of those B horror movies called Poultry Guys. Not Poltergeist, Poultry Guys.
Poultry Guys?
Yeah, Poultry Guys. Like the chicken
Okay.
zombies.
Okay.
And I played Paco Bell,
Oh, God.
Mexican that worked at a fast food restaurant that was just fed up with the establishment, fed up with the industry. And I do special things, put special things in the food, but then I end up dying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a zombie killed me, and it was very bloody and gory. I had a stunt double for that.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, those are highlights on the on-camera side. And then on the theater, when I was younger, I was in 2 Broadway shows. I was in Julie Taymor's The Juan de Rien, which that was her first Broadway show that she directed right before The Lion King. And then I was in Paul Simon's The Caveman with Mark Anthony and Anita Nazario. And I had leading roles, supporting roles in those shows. And those are like the highlights for me on the acting side that I always remember. I've done a lot of things, but highlights, those are, I think, the standouts for me of the roles, but just the experience of it, the rehearsal process and the doing it and shooting it and performing it are like my favorite.
Wow, that is so amazing. I always look at your socials and I'm like, he is like a true working actor. Like you do it all. You're doing stage and you're traveling all over the country as well, right?
Yeah.
You do plays like in South Carolina or
everywhere.
Florida?
It's the last 2 years it's been
Touring.
North Carolina, Florida, Virginia, California, Georgia, New York. So I go where the opportunity takes me,
Right. I mean, that's one of the things that people think when you say, oh, I'm an actor. It's like they think, oh, are you famous? Or do you work with Angelina Jolie? But it's like, no, there's actual working actors that are not necessarily famous, but we're working actors. And we just, well, like you, that you do everything.
Go from
Broadway,
big to
stage,
big.
theater, movies, so, and that's one of the things that has affected us with the SAG-AFTRA strike. We have to discuss that because it has affected us here in New York City as actors.
And it's a domino effect.
What do you think about this New York City SAG-AFTRA strike going on right now?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm truly grateful, and I hope others will follow suit, that to not put all your eggs in one basket. That you can't just focus on just TV and film. Nowadays, as an actor, if you have the skills and desire, you should branch out to other things as well. So yeah, I do the TV film stuff, which is on camera, and then I can also do theater, whether that's plays or musicals. And I know there's people that they like doing commercials as well, or voiceovers, whether it's animation or audiobooks, or if people want to produce their own music or their own podcast. I think it's important as artists to branch out to other things because we want to have multiple streams of income. And if one aspect is on pause or not working, or if you're not booking anything, you have your other options of what you can do. So I hope others will follow suit. I'm glad that I've always done that, and it's just naturally, it just came that way. But I'm very concerned of what's going to happen after the strike. What is the industry going to look like? We're at a turning point. It's just big question marks. I'm very concerned of what's going to happen.
So, do you know any of the things that were the problem and why SAG-AFTRA had to go on strike? I know one of them has to do with AI. Do you know what it was about? Because I know what they were saying is that the big, studios wanted actors to show up to work, and then they would scan us, and we would work that day and get paid for that day. but then they have your image and they use it in their future productions without having to pay you. That was one of the things that I know why we had to go on strike, because they're trying to use AI to replace us.
To replace us, yeah. The whole thing with the biometric and then giving away your likeness forever in perpetuity, that's a big problem, because we don't know then where our voice, our image, what it's going to be used for, where it's going to, and we're not getting paid for any of that stuff.
Right.
At all. So it's just like a way for the producers and the studios to save money.
Yeah.
That's a very big problem.
A lot of money, because if you're not paying the actors and you're using their image,
and then you can put your face could then be put on someone else's body, and they could use that, or they can use your voice and then put it on another actor's body, like dubbing it over, and you're not getting paid for that. Or have
your image in a scene that is something that you completely would be against,
that you,
and would
like
never
nudity
work.
or violence of some sort or whatever.
So it's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now with the SAG-AFTRA. And we don't know how long the strike is going to be, and we don't know when it's coming back, and we don't know how it's going to be, how the new contract is going to be. So here's hoping it's going to be something good.
We don't know. We've been on strike since May, I believe. Well, the writers have been on strike since May, because
May
again,
2nd.
going back to AI, the writers there's many concerns of what they're trying to get, for their negotiating agreements. But AI was a big one, because a lot of writers are like, well, we don't want to have the producers use an AI machine to write an entire TV series or a script, and then you don't need the writers anymore at all to write anything or to do the redraft. So it's like you're trying to get rid of us, and then then we're out of salary, we're out of opportunities, we're out of residuals, because that's a big thing with TV and film is residuals as well, where they're trying to skimp out on that with residuals.
Yeah.
So it's a big problem.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully the strike ends soon, and then we'll get back to work.
Hopefully. There's been a lot of back and forth. It just seems to me that it's going to go on for a while. SAG-AFTRA's been on strike since, I think it's going to be a little over a month now.
Yeah.
It'll be like 2 months soon.
Yeah.
There's no end in sight. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. But speaking of having other careers, you're also a recording artist, and I know your music has been played like in gyms, or
it's been played in gyms, clubs, retail stores. All my music is available on online retailers and streaming platforms, and music videos at the time when MTV had a lot of their indie sub networks. Then they would be played on like their channels internationally, and one of my albums got re-released. It got remastered and re-released, so that's really nice. It's my debut album, Khalid Rivera. That's everywhere you can see it, hear it,
on all streaming.
Check it out. Yeah, on all streaming platforms you can check it out. And I love what they did. It's just enhancing the music. And I'm very grateful for that.
So, what kind of music do you do?
It's house music, like dance house music. It's just something that I love, and I feel like I sound really good singing in that genre, and it's what I grew up with. Growing up in New York City, you have your freestyle music, and then house music was so big, especially going to the clubs. I was going to the clubs since a young age, honey. I was going like senior year in high school. I was just like always going to the clubs, and just being around that music. And when DJs actually DJ, they didn't just have a playlist and just press play. That's what I grew up with, and my musical influences and my writing naturally gravitates towards that genre.
You write the music as well?
Yeah, I either co-write or I co-produce myself. And then sometimes if somebody that I'm working with comes out with something better, or I think it's just great, then we just go ahead with that. And then I'll collaborate on other people's projects, whether just on the writing side or do duet vocals or like featured vocals. Like for example, DJ Seth Sharp featuring Khalid Rivera, things like that I've done. And so the musical will always be there now. You know, the Xena, the album recording coming out. My song is disco. So yeah, it's disco music, and I'll be singing, you know, my falsetto.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited for that. So the music will always be there.
Good. Now, what inspired you to become an entertainer? I mean, singing, acting. You know, when you were a child, when did you discover you wanted to do that?
I can always remember that I always loved music. I always loved listening to the radio. And I started singing in the church choir first. It seems like that's how it starts for everybody.
Starts there.
The church choir.
Very Whitney Houston.
And thank God for my mom, a true blessing that she would always take me to see Broadway shows since I was a little kid. My first show was Cats, and just all the time we would see Broadway shows. And then sometimes the schools would take me, you know, the field trips, we're going to see a Broadway show. So I was always in the arts as a little kid. And my mom said that before I started speaking, I was already humming and like just vocally just singing things. And she was like, yeah, that she knew. Everybody knew that I was going to be musical, an artist of some sort.
And then the acting came after that.
Yeah, and then just everything just kind of just, you know, fell into place.
Which one do you prefer? I mean, acting or singing or both? I mean, Broadway is perfect for you. Right?
I love doing both. I would say it depends on the project, because then sometimes I can be on set, either TV or film, and I'm enjoying it, and sometimes I'm like, I can't wait for this to be over with. And then, or it's the same thing it can be with like doing theater stuff. I could love it, and I'm like, I don't want it to end. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, how many weeks do we have left? How many days? So it just depends on the project, who you're working with, what the writing is.
Okay.
That for me, goes up and down.
But I mean, you're lucky that you can do both. And you know, I think Broadway is like perfect for
I would love
which
to get
you've
back.
done.
I would love to get back to Broadway. That's definitely a nice goal. It'd be nice. But you know, a lot of the times is whatever God wants. You know, I do my part, and He just has to lead the way for me.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about New York City. We are here. We are back. We both left New York City. Now we're back. Everybody that leaves New York always comes back. We always miss it. We always gonna come back. So we are in Bryant Park, right here near Times Square. So tell us why you picked this spot for your interview.
I come here a lot to sometimes just sit and be in my own thoughts, because not too far away you have Times Square, and then you have Grand Central Station that way, and it's just so hectic and so crazy. And I love that Bryant Park here in the middle of like nowhere, in the sense. It's like it's so quiet. It's very peaceful, and you have, you know, the trees and the beautiful flowers, and so it's very zen for me. Another reason why I like Bryant Park is because so many events happen here. Further down that way you have the stage where a lot of concerts, whether of indie artists or big bands, or even like Broadway shows. Like in the summertime they do Broadway and Bryant Park on Thursdays, and they do like an hour performance free.
Yeah.
And in the summertime they'll do like Mondays, film nights Mondays in Bryant Park, where they have all these classic movies on the big screens. So there's always a lot of events here, but it's peaceful, it's quiet. And then further down that way you have the library, the world famous New York Public Library, where a lot of films have been shot there. Breakfast at Tiffany's, Sex and the City, Ghostbusters.
Yeah. They filmed all those movies.
This place is iconic, but it's at the same time peaceful.
So where are your other favorite places in New York City?
Definitely.
Any borough, not just Manhattan.
Well, let's go by boroughs.
Yeah, because you've lived in all the boroughs.
I've lived in all the boroughs. So I started out in the Bronx, then went to Brooklyn, Staten Island, Manhattan, New Jersey, and then Queens.
Wow.
So the Bronx, two places that comes to mind that I love. I love Pelham Bay Park. It's a beautiful park, and they have Orchard Beach there, which is a nice beach. Those are my favorite spots in the Bronx. And then where the Yankee Stadium is at, the new one, that area, they fixed it up. Like they changed it completely.
The one where it's at now.
Yeah, the one where it's at now. Gorgeous. And the new stadium is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that area, they fix it up. It's really, really nice.
The 4 train on the 4.
And then Brooklyn, I like Williamsburg and Bushwick area because all the like really good club parties and raves are all in Brooklyn, whether underground. Oh, hey, speaking of, hey.
The music,
Okay,
it's
the
summer.
music, that's right. So in Brooklyn, like all the major, really good club parties are in that area in Brooklyn. Staten Island, I like the ferry. I like to
Oh
go
yeah, I love that.
because you can pass, the
Lady
Staten,
Liberty.
yeah, Lady Liberty, and I think I like that area. Now they're gonna have like a Ferris wheel
In
in
Staten
Staten
Island,
Island, and they
Staten
have like
Island
the
side.
an outlet mall there, which is
Yeah,
a lot
I've
of
been
cute
to that outlet.
A lot of cute shops there.
Yeah, I've been to that one.
Manhattan, there's just so many places. I love the
Yeah.
Heights because of our people and all the food there. I love Times Square and Broadway because of all the stores and all the Broadway shows. And then besides those boroughs, I like Queens. I like Flushing Meadows Park where they do the U.S. Open. That's there. And then right
That's-
across you have the City Field. That's like Flushing Meadows area. And City Field, the Mets. I like those area. And then Jersey, I like Jersey City. I like
yeah,
the
yeah.
view of Jersey City, especially overlooking New York City.
To the view of Manhattan.
Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And they've changed that a lot. Jersey City used to be really
Yeah.
cheap and kind of ghetto before, and now they
No, it's very Brooklyn,
Yeah, very
very trendy
chic, very
Brooklyn.
posh, yeah.
No, I love Jersey. I always
now it's
end up over there.
expensive. Now it's expensive,
Now
but
it's
beautiful.
bougie.
It's beautiful though, but it's beautiful. It looks nice.
Yeah. So, what about New York? How have you found New York? Now that you've come back, you've been here a few days or so, and you've been gone for how long?
Oh, I've been gone for quite a while because I moved out of New York in September 2021.
Okay.
For a lot of personal
That's
reasons.
exactly 2 years.
Yeah, so I felt let me see.
21, 22,
Yeah,
23.
September 19th
Oh,
was when
3 years.
so September 19th, 2021 was when I left. And it's growing up as a native New Yorker living in all the boroughs, you see the changes of what has happened to New York. I miss the old New York, I'll just say that. And for many reasons, I felt that spiritually it was time that I needed to leave New York. I was here my whole life. And so now I can take New York in doses. It's nice that I can come back here and be like, oh, you know what? I have people here. I know this place, but I don't miss it to be like I want to move back to New York. Of course, I'll come back if I have an acting gig or something, and I'm here for that. But New York has changed a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's not getting better, I would say.
But there's hope. There's always
there's hope. There's hope. Hopefully it'll get back to what it once was. I miss and love the classic New York. Even 6 years ago? We'll say 2018, 2019 was perfect New York. Oh, it was like a dream. I felt like I was walking around and living in a movie, because it has so many iconic places and so many romantic places.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, we'll get back to newer.
I would love a
updated New
sense
York.
of community, a sense of respect for each other, less fear. Because it's like, what happened with the New York tough vibe? That's gone.
Yeah.
What happened with the sense of community? That's gone, it seems like. So I hope that it comes back. Less fear, less anger, more New York tough. And more like community. We got each other.
Right. Okay, good. Any other projects that you're working on or you're gonna work on, you wish to work on?
Well, I hope there's a couple of things that I've auditioned for that I've had final callbacks
I know
for.
you're always auditioning and you always get something.
We'll see, I'm hopeful that something exciting or a couple of exciting things will come through.
Okay.
But that's the life of the actor, of just constantly going from one opportunity to the other. And sometimes you have to audition a lot, and then sometimes because of your reputation at work, you just get offered things, and then you have the power to negotiate or decline.
Right. No, that's good. That's good. You're very talented. I mean,
Oh, thank you so
you know,
much.
You're real and everything. It's really, really amazing. You've done a lot of good work. What advice can you give someone that's starting out, either as a singer or as an actor nowadays?
I would say before you even think about wanting to just get out there right away and audition and you want to be a star, you have to go to school. You have to have your training. If you want to be a singer, you need to go to school for that, or private lessons. You have to work on your craft and your skills. Same thing with acting. You have to go to acting classes consistently. And then eventually, you get your private coach when you have auditions. But focus on your training and skills first. Do that for a while before you're ready to know about the business, before branching out and auditioning and everything. Because remember, it's show business.
Right.
You have your acting craft, but then before you get out there, you gotta know the business side of things as well. How things operate in the entertainment industry. So do that first. I honestly highly suggest that you do that. I just feel like, I don't know, I'm sure you've come across it as well, where people, they think the arts is so easy and they think about the fame right away.
Yeah.
And it's so easy, I'm gonna just do it and get in, but it's difficult.
No, because I'm always posting, oh, I'm acting in this, I'm doing that. And then people, they message me, oh, I want to be an actor. And, sometimes I'll be like, oh, well, come and read for my short film or something like that. And then when they're reading and I'm telling them, no, you got to do it this way. No, and they're like, oh my God, this is really hard. Like, I don't know if I can do this. They just thought that you're going to come in and they're going to say, oh, you're going to be rich and famous and you're going to be on all these TV shows with J-Lo or whatever. But no, it's a lot of hard work. Since I was a kid, I got interested in acting when I was like junior high. And then, I was living in California in San Diego County. I wasn't in Hollywood, but I got into it. I started watching E! Entertainment Television when that first started. I started watching.
It used to be so good.
Yeah, I just used to watch all the actor interview shows and where they were talking about the movies, and I just got so into it, and that's how I started training. And then little by little, you got to do your work. Like now you have YouTube. People can go on and look up improv classes, how to do acting classes, how to behind the scenes filmmaking with directors, all that. So it's really easy to train for it, but it does take a lot of hard work.
That's right. Hard work pays off.
All right, Khalid, lastly, give us your socials where your new fans can find you.
Sure. It's at Khalid Rivera. I'll spell it Khal as in Larry, ID as in David, RIV as in Victor, E as in Eric, RA. So that's Khalid Rivera, at Khalid Rivera. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, yeah.
All righty, thank you so much, love.
Thank you, honey. Mwah.